So this last remembrance I'd like to share is from Mark Konigsberg, one of our professional associates who lives in Portland, Oregon. And it's entitled A True Story. I need one more hand. A true story. I have wanted to write something for Sonia's memorial, but have been unsettled. Since her death, many notes, emails, and posts have been beautifully expressed how much she meant to so many. I have already sent 2 such notes to clients, colleagues, and friends. I could think of nothing new to add to what's been said so well. This was on my mind as I walked from my home in Portland, Oregon to the Portland Japanese Gardens. These gardens are among the most beautiful of their type outside of Japan. They overwhelm you with beauty and tranquility, even if that's not what you have in mind. It was the perfect setting, and a wave of sadness washed over me, forcing me to catch my breath. This was followed immediately by relief to finally give in to all my feelings of the past few weeks. This felt so good, it was almost righteous. But then I noticed a bird walking on the edge of one of the many ponds that decorate the gardens. I knew that bird. It was an American dipper, a bird rarely seen here. This was good. You perhaps see where I am going. You perhaps see where I am going. An animated little bird moving its body up and down as if davening before launching itself into the water captured me, and melancholy and heartache became wonder and delight. And so it is, the cycle of life. Sadness and joy, hope and fear, closing down, opening up, life and death, forever intertwined, forever in relationship. Sonia knew this. We know this. I resumed my walk and, after a fashion, returned to the pond where this story began. Once there, I tried to conjure my earlier feelings. Instead, I had the following thought: that the best way to honor Sonia is to let her go. Years ago, she and Edwin took our hands and gave us this thing we call Gestalt. They knew we were ready. And as surely as Sonia, Ed, and their contemporaries grew, evolved, and recreated Gestalt, so we do so now. We honor her memory by filling our work with energy and optimism, with compassion and spirit, with kindness and resolve, with never-ending creativity. We take this gift and we give it to others through sharing, teaching, and coaching. As we pass it along, we keep the cycle alive. Sonia never asked to be an icon. She became a powerful and, yes, iconic figure because of who she was, what she did, how she worked, how she taught, and how she showed us a way of being in the world. I honor her memory by saying, well done, Sonia, for a life well lived, and thank you, I've got this now. And I just want to finish by sharing a little story of my own, and by sharing some of Sonia's words with you. And my story is just that one of the last times I sat in my office with Sonia back here a few years ago, she was getting ready to move from her Wellfleet home into the city, and She had asked me about my family, and we chatted about the organization. And, she just looked around and looked at the room, and it was a beautiful day like this outside, and said, "I love life." And she said, "Do you love life?" And before I could answer, she said, "I hope you love life." And I'd like to read these words of Sonia's from 2002, which I received from Susan Fisher's archives. "Our Gestalt principles are wonderful, wonderful enough that I have learned them, taught them, lived them, and believed that we could together make a world that would nourish us all. I still believe that. I continue to join others in building a community of people who like differences, learn from differences, and marvel at how much we are the same while we all have such varied beliefs, thoughts, actions, religions, books, and passions. People who love our rich world." Thank you.
I'm Marla Perkel, and I am a friend of Sonia's. She was my neighbor for 6, 7, 8 years on Ocean View Drive here in Wellfleet. I loved her as much as anyone could. She was so incredibly wonderful to me. I went to her often as a friend, as a neighbor, and I just adore her family. And we have continued to see each other through the years, all of them, believe it or not, at Christmas lunch, which we would have many lunches. And I just wish that she was still here with me, because I loved her very much, and I will miss her. And I thank you for being here. Bye-bye.
My name is Makaya Rivel. I was born and raised in Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo. I fled the Congo because for the political anxiety. I was 16 years old when I fled the Congo. I came here in the U.S. as an asylum seeker. I was placed in a shelter somewhere in Pennsylvania. So long story short, many people other children from around the world who were living there with me either were deported or didn't finish college or didn't go to high school. But for me, I was lucky. I was adopted by Dr. Rivell and Dr. Alvin Rivell, my parents, my American parents. So because of the situation in the Congo, I was already traumatized. I was suffering with the depression because my father was murdered in the Congo because he was working with Mobutu. Mobutu was the president of Congo. And my mom passed in 2005. But my American parents, particularly my mother, managed to send me in high school, college, and I was managed to finish grad school. That didn't happen because we had the money or because I was smart. It happened because her mentor and teacher, which is who I called my philosophical grandma, Dr. Sonia, who was trying hard to keep our family together. Here was, I didn't speak any English. I didn't know anything in America. And I was angry and sad all the time. So my mom didn't know what to do with me. So it was Dr. Sonia. Many phone calls. And every time my mom would talk, Dr. Sonia, I will be sitting next to my mom, and my mom taking notes. So at home, but we have a stack of Dr. Sonia's conversation with my mom. So just to be aware, one day I'm going to write a book about those conversations. So because of her, I managed to finish grad school because my mind and my home was in ease, but we had a peace. I created the Makaya Foundation. This year we just sent 46 orphans to school back in Congo. And coming here last night, I wrote a Facebook post that I'm going to be posting after this event. And I'm young. You might think I'm 31. I'm just happy now in my life. I'm having fun. But I'm afraid being too funny or having too much fun in my life because the happy people don't know the history. One day, I will learn how to cry for Sonia. Sonia has made an impact in my life, which is I don't even know how I can thank her. She helped my mom because things was extremely hard in my home. So don't mind my tears. I came from a society where life expectancy is 49. So this is a celebration for Dr. Sonia.
Like many of you, my heart is aching. And I would love to tell you the stories of how Sonia impacted me, and they'd be very much like the stories of how she impacted you. And perhaps another time. After I got to know Sonia a bit, I began to dread this time. And on a couple of occasions I talked to her about it. She was very willing to talk to me about what she meant to me and how important she was to me. But one time we were teaching, and the teaching had gone very, very well. And I went up to her and I looked her in the eye and I said, Sonia, I just can't imagine what my life would have been without you. And she could see that I was feeling sort of upbeat and that sort of thing. So she looked at me and she kind of put her arm on my shoulder, and as she walked past me, she said, you might have been rich.